Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make my lace frontal wig, and to do that you need a mesh dump cap. That's what I use, and a canvas head. I'm using the size 22. You can get this on eBay or Amazon. I got mine from Amazon. And you just need to lay your mesh dump cap on the head. You also need a tripod for support for the canvas head, and then you also need needles, a bunch of needles. You need that. You also need a bunch of T-pins. I got these supplies from Amazon, so yeah. And then you also need a thread. And now I'm going to show you guys how I thread my needles. I usually thread up to 7 to 9 needles. That way my work is easier. So to start with, you are going to fold your thread in two. As you can see in this video, you just fold the thread in two. And then you take it through the needle like so. And that way you are going to be creating 4 strings of thread in one needle. That's how I like to thread my needle. And after that, I'm just going to cut off the excess, and then I'll create a knot. I'll just tie it up. And now you create a knot. You guys can see that there are 4 strings of thread in one needle, and now I'll just secure the end, and that's it. Okay. Okay, so now I've threaded my needles, and this is the hair I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using 4 bundles of hair, 4 bundles of curly hair, 222 to 20, and 18-inch lace frontal. I'm going to be showing you guys in a minute. This is the lace frontal. I already bleached the knot. Okay, I don't know if you guys noticed. I just lightly bleached it a bit, okay, because I didn't want any trouble. And that was it. Okay, so now I'm just going to pin down the mesh dump cap at the back with 2 T-pins, and then I'm going to pin down my lace frontal as well. So when you're laying down your lace frontal, okay, you are going to bring the middle part, you're going to bring it out half an inch. You're going to bring it to the front of the mesh dump cap a bit, you see, as you can see in this video. And then you're going to pin it down, and then you pin down the 2 sides. This video is quite explicit, guys. And then I'll take off the hair out of the way. That way I will be able to see what I am sewing. So now that I've already pinned down the lace frontal, I'm just going to basically start sewing it down now, starting from the middle, as you guys can see. So I'm going to take my needle in between the 4 strands of thread there, that way to secure a knot. And then I'm just going to continue sewing down. What I'm basically doing here, I'm taking the lace frontal and the mesh dome cap and then sewing them down together. You see that? And I'm going to take my needle in between the thread. I'm taking my needle out of from the middle of the thread, okay, just as you guys can see in this video. And then I'm just going to continue like that, and then I'll sew it all the way down like so. Okay, so guys, when I get to the end part, I just take my needle in between the threads, say multiple times, 2-3 times, that way to create a knot, and you know, just to secure the end part of the lace frontal to the mesh dome cap. In this part of video, you guys may not be able to see it properly, but when I sew down the other end of the lace frontal, you guys are going to see what I mean. Then I'm just going to cut off the excess thread here, and then I'm going to divide my thread and then tie it down twice just to secure it before I will finally cut off the excess thread. Okay, so you guys are good, don't worry, you're going to see it in the other part now. So guys, after you sew down your lace frontal, it should be looking like this, laying so flat with the bumps. Okay guys, so after that I'm going to take a metallic pen. You can use any pen you have. Okay, the most important thing is that it is light colored, you know, you see what you are drawing out. So I'm going to use this pen to outline the place where I'm going to be laying my weft on, where I'm going to be sewing down my weft on. Okay guys, so this is basically it. Do not mind my lines, they are so crooked. I'm not an artist, Okay guys, yeah, so you see the way it is at the top. When you get to the top, your lines are going to be lean, they're just going to be lean over, like you're going to cross them over. And then now I'm just going to pin down the bundle to make my work easier for me. T-pins are important when you're making wigs, guys, very important. So after I pin down my wefts like this, I'm going to take my needle, okay, and I'm just going to take it through the mesh cap, and then through the weft. I'm taking it in between the thread again, if you guys can see. That's the only way you're going to create a knot. Maybe people do it other way, but I do mine like this. So I take my needle through the mesh dome cap, and then I separate my thread, take my needle through in between the thread, and then I just sew it down. You see that, guys? And then I'm just going to take it down now, and you see that? That way I create a knot. And then I'm going to take it through the mesh dome cap again, and then take it in between my thread and just start sewing it down. I'm not separating my thread this time around. After the first time, I'm not going to separate my thread again, but I'm just going to be taking it in between the thread. I don't know if I'm making any sense. So I'm just basically sewing it down like so. So you guys can see. So I'm just going to continue like that. So when I get to the end part of the weft that I pinned down, guys, I'm going to create a knot. It didn't really show in this part of the video, but as you continue to watch, you are going to see it. Reason also because I'm going to be showing you guys 2 ways to like lay down your wefts on your mesh dome cap. I'm going to be showing you guys the flip over method. That's for people who do not like cutting their weft. And then I'm also going to show you guys how you cut your weft when you are sewing down your weft on your mesh dome cap. Okay guys, just keep watching and you are going to see that it is very detailed and very explicit. So I just flip my weft over in this part, and I'm trying to sew it down in a way that I'm not going to have bumps or anything to like make it raise up. So I'm just going to try to sew it down now, and then I'll continue with the other parts of the weft. So as you guys can see, I've got it to the other end part of the weft, and now I'm just going to create a knot. I'm just going to take my needle through the thread twice or 3 times just to secure that end part before I'll cut off my thread. And just in case I didn't mention this before, I'm doubling my weft, guys. I'm doubling my weft because I want the old 4 bundles to fit into this wig, because I really want a big full wig, guys. So that's why I'm doubling my weft. So you see that now I'm going to cut off that thread. I'm cutting off the thread because it's almost finished, so I need to change my thread now. And then I'm dividing the thread and just creating more knots, and then I'll cut off the excess thread. Then I'll flip my weft over and just continue sewing. Okay, so yeah guys, I'm going to show you guys, if you want to cut your weft. And another important thing, when you are sewing down your weft on the mesh down cap, you don't want to take your needle through the elastic band on the dump cap. You don't want to do that. You're just going to try as much as possible to take your needle through the mesh dump cap and not the elastic band on it. As you can see, as I'm doing here, I'm actually connecting the lace frontal to the weft, to the mesh dump cap, and then I'm going to create a knot there, as you guys can see. And then I take it down, secure that end part, and then I'm going to cut the thread, separate the thread as I did before, and just create more knots. It's very easy, guys, when you're cutting off your weft when making your wig. It's very easy, but for people like me, it is so painful if I cut off my weft. Man, I had to do this for the sake of this video, just to show you guys. I don't cut my weft when I'm making my wigs. I do not like it. It hurts me so bad. So this is what you basically want to do. I'm not cutting too close to the knot. I'm not cutting too far away from the knot. You know, just the right distance. And that's it. You see that, guys? After cutting off the weft, you are just going to continue again. Lay down the weft on another line, just continue like so. So this part was when my second bundle got finished and I had to start with another new bundle again. I wanted you guys to see this part, that you don't have to overlay your weft. You can just start immediately after where your previous weft got finished, your previous bundle where it got finished. You just start from there. You see that? So that way you're going to have a flat wig without bumps. So that's what I'm doing here, guys. You see that? You see how I connected the previous bundle to the new bundle, and then I'm just going to continue sewing like so. So guys, I'm going to show you people how I flip over my weft here without cutting it off. This is the way I usually do my wigs. So you see that I've got it to the end part. I'm almost at the end part now. I'm trying to connect the lace frontal with the mesh dome cap and then with the weft. And then I'm going to create a knot there. I'm going to take my needle through the thread 3 times just to secure that end part, because I don't want any weft losing on me. So I'm just going to secure that part, and then I'll take off my thread from the way. You guys will see that now. Okay. You see that? So now I'm just going to flip my weft over to the next line where my weft needs to be sitting on. I'm just going to flip it over. You see that? And then I'll pin it down with the T-pin, and then I'm just going to continue sewing. I'm going to take my needle through the mesh dome cap. I'm trying to take out the needle from the other parts of the weft underneath it. You see that? And then now I'm going to take the needle through the mesh dome cap and then take it out from the weft now. And then I'm going to create a knot. Just take my needle through the thread twice or 3 times and then lay it down. You can see that. Then repeat the same step again. And you can see how flat that is laying. No bumps, guys, no bumps. So that's how I do my wig. This is all you want to do it if you don't want to cut your weft. And then I'm just going to keep sewing down normally like I've been doing since. And I'm just going to sew all the way down like so. So guys, I've gotten to the top part of this wig and I'm not going to be doubling my weft anymore. I'm just going to single them out right now because I want this top part to be really flat. I want it to be laying down real flat. And I'm using the shortest bundle now because I used the longest bundle underneath when I started the wig. So now at the top part I'm going to be using the shortest bundle, which is the 22. So and the distance are going to be a finger away from each other. My lines are looking really far away from each other, but guys, do not mind the lines in this video. You know, it was just to give me an idea, you know, on the parts where I'm going to be laying down my weft on, but they're going to be a finger apart from each other. So now I'm just starting the new bundle, creating a knot right there, separating the thread, taking the needle through the thread, and then I'm just going to continue sewing down like so. You see that? So guys, I've gotten to the end part of this wig. Right now I'm going to connect my lace frontal with my mesh dome cap, and then with my weft I'm going to sew everything down together, because that's what you want to do, guys. You just don't want to sew only your weft to the mesh dome cap. You're going to connect everything together. That's what you want to do in this part. Once you get to the last part of your wig, you just want to connect the weft to the lace frontal to the mesh dome cap. That's what you want to do. You guys are going to see it clearly in a bit. So guys, as you can see, I've gotten to the end part of this wig, and when I got to the last part where I'm going to be connecting the weft to the lace frontal, I'm just going to take my needle through the thread 3 times just to be sure to secure that end part before I will then cut off my thread and then cut off the excess part of the bundle. You see that? So I'm just going to connect that together. Take it through it 3 times, create a knot right there, and then cut off that thread. Guys, I am happy to say to you guys that I was able to fit in the 4 bundles to this wig. I am really so happy I was able to do that, because I really wanted a big wig. The remaining part of the bundle was not that much, it was just a little piece, and that's what I'm going to cut off in this part here. I'm just going to cut that off, and yep, the wig is ready. So now I'm just going to finger comb the hair just to make it look neat a bit before I will finally do the styling. I'm just going to do that, and then look at that big wig, guys. Look at that. And see those stitches, see how neat they look. Can you guys see that? They're looking so neat. So, and that is it, and that is all about this unit. I am going to be doing the styling. I'm going to be doing the part 2 of this video. This video was already way too long, so I needed to do another part of it. I'm going to show you guys how I customize it and then style the whole wig. See you guys in the part 2. Bye.